Okay. Now, I'm going to begin very quickly. Now, this is a new set of pictures. We've not done this before. The previous one we did with Nicola was the one that we were writing about. Did you all find that after the model that I did with you, it was easier for you to write the story by yourselves? Was it much easier? Okay, very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to model for you today's story, and then your job over the weekend will be to come up with an ending. Okay, so I'm going to do picture 1, 2, and 3, and then you will come up with picture 4, which is the last paragraph of your story. Now, can you use your fingers to show me how many paragraphs should your story have? Very good. It's 5, not 4. Okay, 5, right? Okay. Can anyone still remember what are the names of these 5 paragraphs which I have given you? You can either give me the short name or the long name, right? Anybody wants to volunteer to start us off? What are these paragraphs that we need to always have in our stories when we write a story? Would anyone like to volunteer to start us off? Okay. Maybe I'll have, maybe Nathan first. Nathan, go ahead, unmute yourself so that you can answer the question, okay?
The first one is intro.
Okay, introduction, very good. Okay, introduction is the first one, that is correct. Would anybody like to come up with the second one? Who would like to come up with the second one? Okay, maybe Sky can give us the second paragraph after the introduction.
The second paragraph is the rising action.
Okay, very good. Sky gave us the longer version, right? The rising action, right? Okay, rising action is the longer name. Very good, well done. Okay, so we have the introduction. We have the rising action. Okay, who can carry on from there? What comes after the rising action? Zayla, what comes after the rising action? Zayla, go ahead. Oh, Zayla, you're not able to unmute yourself, is it? Okay, try again.
The climax.
Okay, very good. Zayla is absolutely right. We have the climax, which comes after the rising action, right? So you all remember that the rising action contains the problem. Am I right? The problem appears for the first time. Now, what is the climax then? What happens to the problem in the climax? Can anyone tell me? What happens to the problem in the climax? Kingsley? You can unmute yourself now.
Problem gets worse.
Okay, so the problem becomes worse. And Kingsley, since you are online, can you tell us what comes after the climax? What's the next paragraph's name?
Solution.
Solution, very good. Or falling action, right? Okay, so the falling action is also called the solution, okay, when the problem gets solved. And finally, what is our last paragraph? Michaela, can you remember what is the last paragraph? You can unmute yourself. Very good.
And
Yes, correct. It's the end. Okay, or if I want a longer name, it's called the conclusion, right? Okay, the end of the story or the conclusion is when the story ends and all the loose ends are tied up. Okay, now can anyone tell me what must appear in my introduction in order to make it a proper introduction before we get started on this? Can anyone remember? Evelyn, can you tell me what are the ingredients of a successful introduction, please? You can unmute yourself now.
Characters.
Okay, very good. Characters must appear in the first paragraph. We must know who is going to be in our story. Very good. A character will mean the who. And what else must I introduce besides the character? Evelyn, can you think of anything else? Okay, never mind. I will ask someone else. Okay, thank you, Evelyn. Maybe I have Aiza. Aiza, go ahead. You can unmute yourself. Tell me. Aiza, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, please. Are you having trouble unmuting yourself?
Mr. Pang, do you call me?
Yes, I did. Yep.
The setting.
The setting. Okay, very good. The where, right? The setting or the where of the story. Where is the story taking place? Very good. There's one more ingredient, right? Very good. Thank you, Aiza. Okay. Okay. Celine, go ahead.
When?
When, very good. The time in which this story takes place. So these are the three most important ingredients of the
Can't hear you. Mr. Pang, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. Right. Can someone give me the answer? What's the fourth W? Just now, I think Zilan had some trouble answering, right? Yeah. Can someone give Mr. Pang what is the fourth W? Okay, we have the who, the where, the when, and then what's the fourth W, right? Toshanov, go ahead.
What?
Nope. Someone else? Yes, Eliza? I must always include what? The?
Why?
No. Okay, you have all forgotten, I tell you who is in the story, I tell you where the story is held, and I tell you when the story is held. But that's very important, right? Something is going to determine whether my story takes place indoors or outdoors. Okay, what is it that is going to determine whether my story takes place indoors or outdoors? And it begins with the letter W. Okay, yeah, Kingsley, have you figured it out?
The?
Yes, very good. It's the weather, right? Yeah, I need to include the weather because if I don't tell my readers what the weather is, then they won't know whether my characters should stay at home or go out to play. Am I right, everybody? If your weather is very rainy, do you go out to play in the thunderstorm? No, right? Then the story will take place indoors, correct? But if the weather is really beautiful and there's a sunny day outside, would you want to go outside to play? Would you want to go outside to explore? Yes, it's a great weather for an adventure. Okay, so if we look at this picture, right, Nathan, please stop annotating and drawing on the screen. Okay, thank you. The next time you do that, I'm going to have to put you in the waiting room. All right. Yes, is everybody okay? Can you all hear Mr. Pang? Okay, you all can hear and see me. Okay, very good. Okay, now, would anybody like to tell me what kind of weather this particular picture set is? Nathan and Sky, can you all please stay in the picture? I cannot see you. Stop fooling around or I'm going to put you in a waiting room. This is your final warning. Is that clear, Nathan and Sky? And I'm recording this so your parents will get to see this as well. Please record that I'm not pleased with your behavior. This is not acceptable. You are doodling on the screen and you are disappearing from the photo against my very clear instructions. The rest of you, do you think this is good behavior? Do you think we should be following what they are doing? No. And bear in mind that this is recorded and your parents will watch you and the way you are behaving. So they will see that you are behaving like this. Please do not behave badly. I've already warned you that this is going to be recorded and shared with all of your parents. And they will hear me berating you online, in public. It will not be nice. Do I make myself clear? You are here to learn, not to distract yourselves and each other. Okay? Now, anybody wants to suggest what kind of weather this will take place in, this picture will take place in, right? Yes, let's have Evelyn.
Sunny, bright afternoon.
So you're saying that the weather is going to be beautiful, it's going to be sunny and bright. Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
Because if it is raining and the clouds are dark, they cannot play because it is about to rain.
Okay, thank you, Evelyn. You've noticed that they are playing, they look like they're playing soccer, right? They're kicking a ball around, correct? So usually when we play soccer or we kick the ball around, we want to kick the ball around outside, right? We don't want to do it like indoors, right? So this is probably at the void deck or very near to, where some of the plants are, right? This is probably Mrs. Lee's plants, potted plants by the side, right? So yes, probably the weather's going to be beautiful and that's why the children are playing outdoors, okay? So very good, well done, okay? So I think all of you have an idea about the important paragraphs that are going to go into the story. So we're going to construct the first few paragraphs and I'll leave you to finish with the solution and the conclusion. Is that okay, everyone? Okay, so this will be found in SLS. Starting tomorrow morning, you will be able to complete this assignment, right? You just need to write down the falling action and the conclusion. Mr. Pang is going to construct the introduction, rising action, and climax together with you now, okay? So let's begin the story. Remember, always start your paragraph with 2-finger spacing, right? And begin by introducing your characters, okay? So in this case, I have 2 boys, right? Let's give the 2 boys a name. Would someone like to suggest 2 names for the 2 boys that we are going to be introducing? Michaela, would you like to give us the names? Then we will use your names, okay?
Josh.
Josh, okay.
And Sam.
Josh and Sam. Okay, all right, beautiful. All right, now, before we talk about Josh and Sam, we are going to write about the weather, right? Okay, and the day, right? Now, this looks like, can you see that one of the boys is wearing a school uniform, right? So does this suggest to you that this is a weekday or weekend? What do you all think? Do you think it's a weekday or a weekend? Kingsley?
Weekday.
Very good, right? So since one of the boys appears to be in his, school uniform, the other one may be wearing PE shirt, right? So it's probably a weekday. So let's say maybe a Monday, right? It was a beautiful sunny Monday morning, okay? Okay, maybe beautiful and sunny Monday morning, all right? Do you think morning will be good or do you think afternoon will be better? Afternoon, right? Yeah, because looks like they are home, right? Okay, and they have finished school, right? Josh and Sam had just been dismissed, right? So they were just dismissed from school and they were happily playing soccer at their void deck, okay? Right? Do you all know what a void deck is, everybody? Okay, you all know what void deck is? No? Evelyn is shaking her head. Who can explain to me what is a void deck? Can anyone tell Mr. Pang what is a void deck? Anybody? Okay, Zayla, you want to try to explain to us what is a void deck? Go ahead.
The ground floor.
Okay, the ground floor of your
Apartment.
Right? Yeah, if you go all the way down, you take a lift to the ground floor, the lift opens up, there is an open space, right, everybody? Right, below your block of flats. That's usually where the letter boxes are found. Am I right? Okay, that's that big empty space. And sometimes do you all see people playing there? Do you all see people like playing ball games or running or catching down there? You do, right? Yeah. Very often, if you dismiss from Sinmin, you watch across the road, right? There are many boys playing, catching at the void deck next to the bus stop, isn't that? Right? When you all look across the road from Sinmin Primary School, right? Yeah, so very often, right, that's where people will play, okay? The void deck of the flats, okay? So that's what Sam and Josh were doing, right? They had just been dismissed from school and they were happily playing soccer at their void deck, okay? Now, we want to talk a little bit about Sam and Josh, right? So we already have the weather, we already have the where, right? The void deck, we already have the when after school, right? So now we're going to talk a little bit more about Josh and Sam. So, do we want Josh and Sam to be the same age as us, or do we want them to be older? Who wants them to be the same age as us? Primary 3 students. Raise your hands. Okay, I think most of us do. Okay, so let's make them primary 3 students, okay? Josh and Sam, right, they were classmates from 3F, right? So we'll use our class. And they both loved, what did they love? What is their favorite thing in the world? What is the favorite thing in the world? Xin-Ling, go ahead. Sorry, hold on. Where is Xin-Ling? Okay, Xin-Ling, yes. Xin-Ling, go ahead.
Soccer.
Okay, they both loved soccer, right? Okay. And that explains why they are playing soccer at the void deck immediately after school, right? Okay. So they both loved playing soccer. Now, can you see this is my first paragraph, right? And altogether, if I look at the number of words, right? If I look at the number of words, right? I have 37 words, okay? 37 words. So remember, your first paragraph should have between 30 to 40 words, right? If you're writing it out on a blank piece of paper, it should be about 5 to 6 lines worth of writing, okay? So it's about 30 to 40 words. Good enough. Now I'm going to go into my problem, right? So what is the problem that is going to be presented in the first picture? We can see the problem there, right? Okay. Who is that? Can you please stop? Okay. Who would like to tell me what the problem is? Isaac, please stop annotating on the paper, on the picture. It's distracting to the others. Okay, anybody want to tell me what the problem is? Okay, let's see. We have a few volunteers. Declan, would you like to try to tell us what the problem is? In your own words, it's okay. We can always rephrase it.
They accidentally kicked the flower pot.
Okay, did they kick the flower pot directly? Did they use their feet to kick the flower pot? No, what actually happened? You must be very careful when you describe.
They kicked the ball to the flower pot.
Okay, so they were probably kicking the ball to each other, right? And then maybe somebody missed and the ball flew over and hit the flower pot instead. Am I right? Okay, is that what you're trying to say? Okay, now what happened when the ball hit the flower pot? Declan, what happened when the ball hit the flower pot?
What happened when the ball hit the flower pot? The flower pot broke.
Yeah.
I see. Big.
The flower pot broke.
Okay, thank you. Right, Declan? So you all must be very precise when you're describing a scene, okay? You kick the ball flies out of control, it hits the flower pot, and the flower pot breaks. Got it, everybody? You cannot just go from one step to the last step. You cannot just say you kick the flower pot, right? You have to break it down and you have to make sure that every step is clearly described. Are you all following Mr. Pang so far, everybody? Do you all understand what Mr. Pang is trying to say? Go step by step. Don't mash everything into one sentence. Try to break it up into step-by-step descriptions of the problem, because the problem must be clearly stated for your story to really make sense. Okay, so now let's try to put that together. Okay, suddenly, right? We love to use the word suddenly, right? Because it tells us that it's not expected, correct? It's accidental. I think the word Declan used was accidental, right? Okay, so suddenly, right, as Sam was passing the ball, you all know passing the ball, right? That's when you kick the ball towards another person, right? To Josh, right? He used too much strength, right? Have you all ever kicked the ball with too much strength before? Okay, right? And then the ball flies further than you all expected, right? Yeah. So this is what happened to Josh, right? He used too much strength and the ball flew towards a row of flower pots, right? Next to the corridor. Okay, they were in the void deck, there's a corridor, right? And as Sam kicks the ball, he realizes that it's too hard and the ball flies and hits a row of flower pots. Okay, would someone like to tell me what happened next, right? Based on what we just discussed, can you give me the following sentence after that? Would anyone like to contribute the next sentence? Evelyn, why don't you try? Go for it.
Mrs. Lee came out of the door and saw the broken flower pot.
Oh no, but before Mrs. Lee comes out, what must happen first? Has the flower pot broken yet, everyone? Look at the story. Has the flower pot broken yet? So you all must be very careful, right? You cannot skip steps. It's the same as Declan just now, right? You can't skip immediately to the broken flower pot. You can't skip immediately to Mrs. Lee. You have to do it step by step. Right now, the ball is flying towards the flower pot. Has it hit the flower pot yet? No. So we must describe what happens when the ball hits the flower pot first before we talk about what happens with Mrs. Lee. Do you understand, Evelyn? Okay, so you must not skip steps. Otherwise, there'll be a gap in your story and then people cannot follow what's going on. Would someone like to give me the next sentence that follows on from what happens after the ball flies towards the row of flower pots? Nathan, would you like to try? Okay, try, Nathan.
When the ball hit the flower pot, it made a loud crashing noise.
Oh, lovely. I love that you use the crashing noise. Right? Okay, so I'm going to use Nathan's sentence completely. I will not change it. Okay, so that's very good. Nathan, thank you for that. When the ball hit the flower pot, it made a loud crashing sound. Was it smashing sound or crashing sound, Nathan? Which one was it?
Smashing.
Smashing. Okay, thank you. Right. A loud smashing sound. Okay, very good. Right, you all know what a smashing sound sounds like, right? Okay, when you smash something really hard, there's this really sharp and really loud kind of like breaking sound. Okay, smashing sound. Okay, loud smashing sound. Now, when this sound and this breaking of the flower pot happens, what are the boys' reaction? How do Sam and Josh react? Do they just stand there and smile? Do they act as if nothing has happened? No, right? There must be a reaction from the boys, right? So what is their reaction? How do they show their emotions? Let's see. Okay, Xin-Ling, would you like to try? Tell us, how did Sam and Josh react?
Shocked and frightened.
Okay, Sam and Josh were shocked and frightened. I'm going to ask Toshanov to add on in a short while, okay? But let me try to write this down. For Sam and Josh were shocked and frightened. Okay, frightened. Very good. Now, Toshanov, would you like to add anything to that, or was it about the same? You can add if you want to.
Then the auntie who owned the flower pot came and
Okay, not yet, Toshanov. Not yet. I don't want Mrs. Lee to appear yet. I want to describe the scene before Mrs. Lee appears, right? So the ball hit the flowers, the flower pot made a loud smashing sound. Sam and Josh were shocked and frightened. What else happens after that? What are they going to do, right? What are Sam and Josh going to do? Okay, anybody? Can you tell me what they are going to do, right? When they hear this sound, what's going to happen next? Okay, let's have. Okay, Toshanov, go ahead.
they will try to fix it back.
No, I don't think so, because it's been smashed so badly that you can't fix it back, right? So what is your reaction when something like this happens in front of you, right? When you see this, right? You're shocked and frightened. What's your first reaction? Okay, what are you going to do? Okay, I'm sure you will go forward to look more carefully at what happened, right? Okay, to investigate whether the flower pots are really broken, right? So they ran forward to check on the flower pots. Okay, now what did they see when they ran forward to look more carefully? What did they see? Can anyone tell me what they saw? Okay, if you can see here in the picture, what did they see? Okay, what did they see? Can I have somebody else contribute? Jiaxuan, maybe you can tell me what did they see, Jiaxuan? Jiaxuan, are you able to give me a response? What did they see when they ran forward?
They saw the pot broken.
Okay, they saw pieces of the broken pot all over the floor, right? Okay, so that's what they must see, right? They saw, right? So they saw and soil all over the floor. Okay. Now, this is the problem. Am I right, everybody? We've got the broken flower pot. We've got soil all over the floor. Have I shown you the problem already? Okay. Can you all see the problem? Is it obvious? Isaac, are you focusing on the lesson? Please stop fiddling with the screen. Is that clear? Isaac, is that clear? Right. Now, for the rest of us, now, what's going to happen next? The problem is going to get worse, right? The problem is going to get worse. Okay, so that's going to be my climax. Okay, so I've already done my introduction. Okay, I've given you the who, the where, the when, and the whether. Then I've already introduced you to the problem, right? Okay, these boys are playing, and suddenly, because they're careless, they break a flower pot. Now, as the flower pot is broken, the problem is clear. Now, how is the problem going to get worse, right? We all know, right? Okay. Can anyone tell me how the problem is going to get worse? Okay. How is the problem going to get worse? Ashley, can you tell me how the problem is going to get worse? Ashley. Go ahead, Ashley.
Mrs. Lee will come out.
Okay, Mrs. Lee will appear on the scene, right? And then, do you think she's going to be very happy that her flower pot has been broken? No, right? Okay. Right. So, now, let's go into the story. We can change the story a little bit here, and we can talk about how, okay, when Mrs. Lee, their neighbor, okay, so Mrs. Lee is their neighbor, right? Okay, heard the loud crash, right? Because just now Nathan mentioned that there's a loud crashing sound, right? She rushed out of her house. Okay. Now, what is her feeling when she sees this scene in front of her? How does Mrs. Lee feel when she sees the boys in front of her broken flower pot and all the spilled soil? Okay, Xin Ling?
Terrified.
Terrified? Why would she be terrified, dear? Why is she scared of? Why is Mrs. Lee scared? Are you sure terrified is the right word you want to use? Okay. Can I have Declan? Go ahead.
Worried.
Okay, worried, really? If someone broke your flower pot, would your first reaction be worry? Right? Declan, if someone broke your flower pot, what's your first reaction? If someone broke your pencil or broke your pencil case, what would be your first feeling? Would you be worried? Is that really how you would feel? Then what would you feel, Declan?
Upset?
Upset.
Upset? Okay, upset. Yes, okay. You could be upset. Anybody has any other word besides upset to describe how Mrs. Lee would feel? Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry? You need to speak loudly and clearly, okay? Because otherwise I can't hear you. Okay, Kingsley, go ahead. Kingsley, go ahead.
Angry.
Sorry?
Angry.
Angry? Did you say angry? Okay, so upset and angry, right? Yeah, so that's probably going to be some of the feelings that Mrs. Lee is going to feel, right? When she sees her flower pot on the ground, right? Broken, right? Mrs. Lee was upset and angry when she saw what the boys had done, okay? Right? Now, what is she going to do? Right, now that she's upset and angry, how is she going to make the problem even worse for Sam and Josh? What's she going to do to them? Toshana?
Maybe she will scold them because they broke her flower pot.
Okay, that seems a natural reaction, right? So if you're angry and upset with someone, you probably will spend some time scolding them, okay? Right, so she scolded the boys for their careless act, okay? Because remember, they did not mean to, right? In the story, in the picture, it tells us that they did not mean to, they didn't do it on purpose, right? So it was a careless act, but still, right, it was something that they did wrong. So Mrs. Lee, who was their neighbor, probably scolded them. Okay. Now, when she scolded them, how did they feel? Right? What were the boys' reactions when they were being scolded? Right? How did they react to the scolding? What do you think they did? Daven, can you tell me what they did when they were scolded? What would you do if you were scolded in their place? How would you react? Okay, please unmute and tell us. Daven, go ahead. Daven, can you hear me? Please unmute and tell us how you would react if you were scolded by Mrs. Lee. How would you react? What would you say or do? Daven, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead. How would you react, Daven?
Mr. Tom, can you repeat what you say again?
Daven?
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
are we? Upstairs.
Would you need me to repeat the question?
Yes.
Okay. I asked if you were Sam or Josh and you were scolded by Mrs. Lee, what would your reaction be? How would you respond to the scolding? What would you do or what would you say? Can you share with us, please?
Why?
David?
Yes.
Yeah, please answer.
I say sorry to the teacher.
This is not the teacher, David. This is not the teacher. This is Mrs. Lee, the neighbor. Can you please rephrase your answer properly?
Say sorry to Mrs. Lee.
Okay, not say sorry, but apologize, right?
Yeah.
Try not to use the word say sorry. Can you say the word apologize, please, David? Apologize.
Apologize to Mrs. Lee.
Yes, very good. Thank you, David. Okay, so everybody remember, don't say sorry, you must apologize. The word is apologize. Can we all say the word apologize together? There's no need to unmute, just say the word apologize. Everybody say apologize. Yeah, so I don't want to hear or see you writing the word say sorry, because that's not the right way to do it. You have to say apologize, okay? When you say sorry to someone, that's apologizing, okay? So the boys, right, the two boys, they apologize to Mrs. Lee for damaging her flower pot, right? And promise not to do it again. All right. So this was what they said. Okay. But that's not enough to solve the problem, right? The flower pot is still broken. Am I right, everybody? The soil is still all over the place, right? So your job, right? Your holiday weekend job is to think of how the boys can solve the problem. Because remember, an apology is not enough. You can take some ideas from the picture here, okay? But your job will be to write the solution and the conclusion, the lesson that the boys have learned. Is that okay, everyone? Okay, so your job over this weekend is to finish the last two paragraphs. You will continue and finish the story in SLS. You can see the SLS assignment starting from tomorrow morning. Is that okay, everyone? You don't need to do anything tonight, but tomorrow morning when you log onto SLS, you will see this appear for you to finish up. And I want you to watch this video if you forget what the story is about. Is that clear? Do you have any questions? Zilan, please stop annotating on the screen. Zilan, thank you. Right. No questions at all. That's your assignment for today, okay? If you have any questions, you can stay back and ask me. If not, I will share this story with you as well as the assignment in SLS by tomorrow morning. All right, thank you, everybody. That's all for today. I hope you all remember what are all the different parts of a story and what goes into them, okay? We'll keep practicing until you get really good at this, okay? Thank you for your focus and your contributions today. I will see you all again on Monday, okay? Remember to do your homework on SLS. Bye.